everybody, welcome back to Keely's Creations. I am Keely Kerwin, and tonight I am here to share with you guys an exciting first part of 4 videos on the Stampin' Up! Album retreat. So this was their very first album retreat. It was run exactly like a Close to My Heart retreat had been. I absolutely loved it. It was well worth the $250. We made 12 double page layouts. So you made 24 pages. And so I am here to share with you the first 6 layouts that we created. So over the next few weeks, you will get to see the full album. It'll be over 4 different videos. And tonight I'm sharing with you January, February, and March. So the first 3 months of the year. It was, like I said, it was run exactly like it. From ordering to receiving the kit, to prepping for it, to each of the videos and how it was done on Facebook, and everything was shared, as well as prizes. I absolutely loved my time, the 3 days spent doing it. So if you like what you have seen here, please feel free to give me a thumbs up and subscribe to this channel down below. And we'd love to have you join us over at Keely's Creations over in our crafting community on Facebook. So if you guys are ready, let's get started. Hey everybody, it is Keely. I am jumping in here Monday night. Let me tell you, it has been quite a whirlwind of a weekend and a Monday. Such a long day. Saturday, Morgan played in New Berlin. She played at 10 o'clock or 10:30 and noon, and then we had to wait until 7:30 to play again. So that was a long day. They won at 7:30, so then they didn't play again until Sunday at 4:30, which they won, and so that put them in the championship at 6. And there was some controversy, and we stopped, and then we ended up losing 4-3. It got rather ugly. Our second baseman and our right fielder collided, and they ended up, the second baseman had to go to the hospital. She dislocated her elbow. Then we ended up going to dinner as a team after we lost, and we got home at 11 o'clock last night. And our AC has been out since July 3rd. We added some more Freon to kind of limp us through because we finally got the new air conditioning unit today, as well as a new heat pump furnace combo thing. So let me tell you, it's been an expensive day. I wanted to jump in here and share with you guys album retreat. You can see the first 3 double page layouts, and I have nothing but amazing and good things to say about the album retreat. It was the same cost as what Close to My Heart charged. It was $250, and it did not disappoint. It was run exactly how it had been at Close to My Heart. Thank you to Karen Pedersen, because I'm guaranteed that was all her input. From the way you ordered the kit, to the way it came packaged, to the way the instructions were written, to the way it was run on Facebook with Facebook Lives, with 4 different instructors teaching the 4 different layouts, to having prizes at the end of each layout, to the time it started and ended, and just how it overall ran. And I couldn't have been more pleased, and it was so much fun. So Karen taught one of each, a layout each day of the 3 days. Sarah, the CEO, taught one each of the 3 days, and Corey, she's a corporate staff member as well. And then they basically did like a guest speaker to be the 4th person each of the 3 days. So it was extremely fun. I absolutely loved it. Well worth the $250. So you guys, it's not just a kit. It's not just the components. Yes, it is pre-cut for you, which is an amazing deal. But it started at 3 p.m. Central Time, so 2 p.m. Mountain Time, and it went until like 11 or 11:30 at night, because we are global, so that's the only difference. The timing was about the same though. I think maybe we started at 2 p.m. Central Time for us when we were with Close to My Heart, because we still were trying to help with Australia and New Zealand. But I think this started maybe an hour later, and so it went an hour after that. But I just used the instructions because I craft fairly quickly now, after doing this forever. I would then just, if I got ahead, I would just read the written instructions. So there are written instructions. It's a Facebook group, so if you could, there were times where I had to pause it and rewind. What did she just do? Or I miscut something, I did something wrong, right? So that I needed to rewind it and check it out. But I ended up finishing every night, all 3 nights before they did. I took an hour or longer for dinner time and stuff, and it still was perfect. Like I had nothing to complain about. I absolutely loved it. So tonight I am going to share the first of, it'll be 4 Facebook Live installments going through the album retreat, because I actually finished all of it on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. And so tonight I am sharing with you guys January, February, and March. So let's get started. So here is the January, and I loved the colors, right? They have the two-tone cardstock now, so if you are close to my hearter, we carry the same, the Stampin' Up! Colors in two-tone cardstock. So you have the light side, I think this is the light, yep, and this was the dark side. And so the instructions will tell you, the instructors would tell you which side you're using things on. If you saw, I did 2 prior videos to this one. So one was the unboxing of the kit and all its components, and then one was how I got things ready to go, how I helped myself be able to move along and keep up and be ahead at various points. I'm going to share with you guys different tips and techniques and things that we did on these layouts, and then we'll just kind of move on. So you'll see that this layout has room for 2 4x6s, 1 vertical, 1 horizontal, and then 2 horizontal 3x4s, as well as there are some hidden in here because we made ourselves some tags in this cute little pocket. So in the kit, there were things that were exclusive, like the pattern papers, the color papers and stuff that are coming out will be available for sale in September, I believe. All the monthly titles, for the most part, punched out in different pieces. These were a thick chipboard, and you punched them out of a 12x12 sheet, and I just adhered them down with some tape runner. Okay, so instructions told you exactly what to do. Everything was pre-cut. So like we did the cutting, you know, like if you had to dovetail or if you had to cut like angles like this, or we made our own tags. We cut the angles off the, you know, the corners or whatever. Only other tools that we used, there was a little bit of cutting. Something was not quite cut right, so you could trim it off. And we used like a hole punch to punch in our tag. So there was a couple things that I'll share with you there what we did. But these are exclusive stamps. I loved this stamp border. So you can see I'm just a little off here. So it was a piece that was about this big or this long and then went across. On this left page here, there was 4 different sets of exclusive stamp sets. And then 2 sheets of 12x12 exclusive punch outs that coordinated with the stamp set. So this cute banner was a punch out, and then we stamped the banner itself on here, and then we stamped the sentiment. We used blending brushes and we blended back behind here, and I'll bring it up closer in case that doesn't show farther away on the camera. And then we used it was like a little star set of a stamp to make like a little embellishment there. Okay. And this little arrow right here was a stamp set as well, again, as the border. Cut these pieces, and it's just whether you're using one side, the dark side, the light side of cardstock here. So this one went together very quickly. They did the matte dots. So there's a set of dots that were black, white, kind of like a cream color, vanilla-y color, and black, white, vanilla, and a tan color. So you'll get to see those, I think in the March layout, the tan colored ones. On this page, we made a pocket. So I'll show you the side of it so that it is raised. This was a piece that we just added foam tape around the outside here to pop it up so you can put tags in. And then these 2 layers here, these, scalloped layers, were just punch outs. And then you just push this one down a little bit and laid that one on top. This was a stamp that we stamped exclusively and then stamped the hearts in the center of it. And then here are 2. So this one would hold a 3x4 picture, and this one is set for journaling, or you could add 3x4 photos on both of them if you wanted. This one too was a 3x3. We did some of the shading, again, the blending with the blending brush and using those same stamps behind it. And some tips for some of these things on how to line things up. So I made sure that I put my pieces here down first, and then I didn't stick my photo mat down, but I kind of set it there, and then I took my blending brush and then I lifted it up and I moved it around because I kind of laid this out where I thought it would be, and then just shifted it off to the side so that I could then blend. When you're going to blend, you're going to like tap it into your ink and then rub it off on a side of scratch paper, because you don't want that big blob dot in the center. You want to work it, and you always want to work it kind of like from the middle out or someplace that's going to get hidden. So in case a blob was shown, I'd hide it somewhere under here, right? And you just kind of work your way out. Same thing over here. So you could start here if you wanted to. You just could have put it down right here and worked your way out around it, but I always tap it off first. And so we did this area around this. This one I do have, you probably could put this one in and out too, but this one I glued down. Okay, so this one isn't coming out. There's a black dot on that one. And so this fun little pocket, you can just shove these right back in, right? Layer them how you want to. And then we also learned how to cut our page protectors so that you can then, you would make a slit here, and then these would these two would sit on the outside of that page protector so that you could pull them out and read them. What I did not cut into any of my page protectors. The only reason being is that I don't know that I want my album to be January, February, March, April. I might use this as a January beginning in an album and have other pages that were from January, and then use February and have other pages. So I didn't want them necessarily back to back to back. So I never attached my flip flaps, and I never cut any of my page protectors, but I will tell you how they did it or where they did it. Okay, so that was on here. This was another exclusive stamp, this cute little half scalloped rainbowy looking, and then we stamped highlights on the center. That is popped up, and this is popped up. These three pieces are popped up with foam tape, as well as that pocket. And pretty much same thing followed, right? We just added the border stamp along here. These we did not need to cut at all. They just, you know, layered straight across, and then used some of the black dots on the sides and here. And so that was layout 1. So that was our January. You might have noticed I did not gut these papers. So with the two-tone cardstock, it is not the thickness of, if you were a Stampin' Up customer before and you ordered the 12 by 12 combo packs, that was thick cardstock. That matched the 8.5 by 11, the thickness of it. Our two-tone cardstock is thinner than that. So I don't mind layering if I needed to. Like if I was running short on this paper below it, I would gut it. Or if I knew I needed a lot of it, I would gut it. But knowing that I only needed these 2 sheets, I just left it as is, and I layered the white on top of it instead of gutting either side, okay? So just a little tidbit there on what I do and when I do it and why I do it. Okay, so that was layout 1. Layout number 2 is February. And how fun is this one? I'm going to bring this down here just a little bit. Oh, hang on. I never showed you guys up close. Sorry. I do that. I try to remember to do that all the time. So here, in case you couldn't see any of that, blending, and then the little stamps that were coordinated with it. And it's so fun to see, because when you put it on and you stamp it, those stamps were a lot brighter than that. And I was like, oh, it looks so bright. It's not really blending in. And then as it dries, it definitely lightens up, and you get to see that. And then there is that fun little border. And then the other, you can see the highlights and what a fun look. It has like a faux stitch to it. Okay, and then here were those that card's tags, and then you can see the little stamping on the side there. And of course, because I'm trying to hold this and put these back in at the same time, it's not working. And again, we just put the 3D foam tape, the narrow thin stuff, or you could put the mini dots underneath on the side just to pop it up. I was going to tip it so that you can kind of see what I did there. There's that foam in there that pops it up a little bit. Okay, so that was layout 1. Layout number 2 then is February. And how fun is this design? So this was a little bit more of a labor of love. Only because when they sent us the paper, they shorted us this piece. So if you had that piece in your stash, you could have cut another piece to make it easier to do this piece here through here. I ended up, it ended up only being like about this far, and you ended up with pieces that, because this was a 12 by whatever length this is, 12 by 1. So you had like this little chunk here, so that cut here, and then using, I think it was this piece, we then cut a portion of it into an inch, and then paper pieced it so that it could fit this little section right through here. It's a lot of work. It was a lot more. It would have been way easier just to cut another piece of that, but I didn't. I did how they showed it, how we did it, and it was fun. So this is February. And again, we did blending in 4 different spots on layout 2 on each side. February through here was, again, some of that chipboard punch out, as well as these 3 black hearts. And this little topper here, that was all a punch out. Then the rest of this was pattern paper here, but the rest of this is all cardstock. These were stamped images that were exclusive. Okay, and we stamped the border on this piece. And let's see, what else can I tell you? This was a stamped image as well, and then this was a separate one. I loved these hearts. It was a set of 5 that went vertically. So I popped that up on foam tape, and then faves. is one of the alphas that came with. So one of the, oh, I absolutely loved this stamp set. One of the alphabet, or one of the exclusive stamp sets was an alphabet stamp set. So it had uppercase, it had lowercase, and it had numbers. And so this was just stamped using the numbers, and I popped that up on foam tape, as well as this picture. I popped this one up too, and these little embellishments here. This little red heart was, and then this little black heart over here, it's the same heart, was stamped. And then this adorable, cute, teeny tiny little heart here, the open heart, we stamped as well. That pretty much takes care of this page on the left side. On the right side here, I can tell Morgan's home. Hopefully you're not hearing that, but she came home from softball practice and she's taking a shower, and her bathroom is at the back end of my scrapbook room. So I can hear music playing and the water running. Over here, again, we use some blending and use some stamps over here as well. These cute little banners, again, were stamped images. I popped those up, and this is the same alphabet, but the lowercase to this one, just stamped in red. And then this was a punch out here, and as well as this one. So this one I popped up, and I popped up the black one right here, as well as this one's popped up, and these were just stamped. This cute little bugger, What Matters Most. This is a scalloped circle. It was an exclusive punch out, and we then stamped the circle in the center and then the sentiment. Now look at this little cutie. This heart says love this. You could do some journaling on the outside of this, but check it out. It opens up. You could do some journaling on the inside here. We stamped happy, which is an exclusive stamp. And then we just took a photo mat placeholder and traced. So this white piece was punch out as well. So we traced this white piece onto a photo mat and then cut the photo mat out to stick in here. You would, on your page protector, you would leave this piece right here. So when it's in the page protector, you would take a pencil and you would draw this heart image. Then you would take it out. You would slide in a self-healing mat or some very thick chipboard, and then you would cut around either with an X-Acto knife or get a poke in there so that you could cut it with your scissors along that traced image, and then you can slide this piece right through. So everything is in the page protector except the outside of this, so then it allows your photo to be safe in the protector, and you can read the journaling. How cute is that? This is going to leave you with a vertical 4x6, a 3x3, and then 4 horizontal 3x4s. And I love the two-tone because I use the light side here and I use the dark side to make those photo mats kind of pop off the page a little bit more. That's pretty much what we did. We added then some of the black matte dots on this layout as well, and then on the side. So I'm going to bring this up here and show you. I seriously could not say it. Like, I got done and I told Sean, I'm like, this was amazing. For their first time doing an album retreat, absolutely loved it. They had originally made up, I think it was 2,500 kits, and there was almost 2,500 people in the Facebook group. So maybe they ended up making up even more than that. I don't honestly know how many, and I don't know how many are left. There are still kits left. So the best part is that everything has already been recorded for you. Once you purchase the kit, you'll get an email that gives you the link to go into the Facebook group. Now you might say, hey, Keely, I thought your Facebook lives, they disappear after a month. Facebook gets rid of them. True. So corporate is going to transfer those then onto YouTube, and they will be unlisted. So the only way you can see them then is by purchasing the album retreat, and you can watch them. A plus of putting them out on YouTube is they can, if you are hearing impaired or from another country, because we are global, they will have closed captioning. So you can read if you are not able to understand or hear. Okay. So that's a plus of that as well. So that is layout number 2, month of February. And the last one I'm sharing with you guys on this installment, remember it's going to be a four different Facebook Lives that will then go on to YouTube on my channel. This is March. And again, we did some blending, this time using pumpkin pie behind the March, a little bit behind here, a little over here, and a little over here. Now this one was fun because, like I said, everything comes pre-cut. So all these pieces are pre-cut. You just had to figure out what arrangement based on the photo or listening to the instructor, how they went. So the instructor that taught January, so February was taught by Karen. The guest speaker taught, I think she taught January maybe, I can't remember. And so I had already had those 2 done, so when it came time for March, I was already ahead. So I had my base pages done and ready to go, and then we were able to go to dinner. But it, for the most part, came together very quickly. once you figured out like where you wanted your pieces, right? And if you wanted the fronts, and they could tell you too, if you want them light or dark, you can totally switch it up, which is really cool if you purchase this after the fact, because you can be included in that Facebook group and you get to see what everybody else has done. If they had their pictures, what their cute layouts look like, if they changed it up, if they use different colors, if they use different papers but use like the same theme. It's really fun to check that out. So on this layout, there is one 4x4, and then there are two vertical 3x4s, and then there are two horizontal 3x4s and this 3x3. So this is kind of a fun way of doing it. What they did here is you would have your layout number 1 here, and you would do your little journaling next to 1. Number 2 is right here. You do 2. 3 ends up being over here. It's this picture. And then 4, 5, and 6. So to tell like a little story, or if you did a vacation and you pick like one of your favorite locations that you stopped, you could list that there. What we did on this one that was fun, excuse me, we did blending underneath March, and then we stamped in full on pumpkin pie a splatter mark on here, and I loved that one. This one over here I had done kind of second generation. I stamped off and then put it on here, and I really liked the darker look once it did dry, because it dried kind of light over here, and I like how it kind of popped on this one. So this flower, these leaves, and this big flower, these are all punch outs, exclusive punch outs that you then use the stamp set to stamp on top. So these we just left as white, okay? A lot of the other ones we ended up doing some blending in the centers to give them color, but I loved that you had lots of color in the background, and these were just stayed as white, kind of tone on tone. We did little flowers, and then a big leaf, and there's little leaves here. Same here, big leaf, little leaf, little leaf. These two, we did 2 bigs, a big and a little, I think, under there. You were given some white twine, kind of like baker's twine, that you just kind of curled up and stuck on underneath here. Same on this one on this side. And then the embellishment was more the tan matted dots on this side. So this one came together super quick. And we used like the dark side and the light sides of some of the cardstock to make a couple of the pictures on each side pop. And then just using a little 1/4 of an inch strip at the top to tie things all together. So again, went together super quick and easy. But it's fun to learn new techniques. So this one does not have anything that was popping out or pulling out of a page protector. It was just a different way of journaling and talking about your photos and telling your story. Okay. So I would love to hear from you guys. Which layout was your favorite? January, February, or March? Each day over in our Facebook group, Keely's Creations, our Facebook community, at 7 p.m. I will share a picture of each set of layouts and up close pictures of them, so you can see those. They will also be posted in kind of like the chat that happens here on YouTube, in case you hadn't known about that. I post stuff here. I do graphics and images here on YouTube, as well as my Facebook group. And then on Sunday, I repost what was this live as a YouTube video, and then that lives on my YouTube video, and I share it here and then on my business page. So I'd love to hear which was your favorite. Next Monday, I will be sharing a different set of layouts, and that will be from one of the workshop kits out of the catalog, one of the annual catalog, I think. And then the following week, we'll go back to April, May, and June. And the week after that, I mean, I got lots of artwork, you guys. I got so much stuff to share with you from Delaware. And it's just going to be a busy weekend. So we leave on Wednesday after work and head up to Minnesota, because Morgan has her last NAFA Nationals with the Midwest Revolution. She's 16U, and she would phase out of that and move up to 18U. And so she has decided to switch clubs after 4 years. Her coach that she has moved up with 2 years at 14U and 2 years at 16U is staying at the 16U level, because 3/4 of the team still remains at 16U. So Morgan was one that will move up and has decided to give a different club a try. And a lot of those girls, I mean, they are the club she's moving to, Team Heat, out of Platteville, is very accomplished. They have lots of wins, and she is actually going to play a tournament with them down in Peoria, Illinois, next weekend. So again, we'll be leaving Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday for that tournament. And then on Monday after that, the first week in August, we're flying out to Florida to have a family vacation with a bunch of friends. So the kids are coming, and at least 3 other couples and their kids. And then we come back on Sunday, and on Monday we pack Nathan up and his furniture. He's moving into a house in college, and moving all of the big furniture at least down. And then he gets his wisdom teeth out on Wednesday of that week. And let's see, then on Saturday, Sunday of that week, he then is playing in a softball tournament. So hopefully he's healing fast. And then the following week, he'll probably move down to Aurora and be down there for that week. And Sean and I leave for Ireland for 2 weeks for a cruise with family. And he will start school on August 25th, and Morgan will start school right after Labor Day. So we're gone when she actually starts her senior year. I'm a little sad to miss that, but I know she'll have a great day, and we'll get to hear all about it. And we will come back from Ireland on September 5th. And so I have a lot of things to get done between now and then in a very, very short period of time. At least I have lots of artwork to share with you. It's just a matter of getting some Facebook Lives done or videos created so that I can at least schedule them to share with you. So I hope you guys have a great rest of your week. Happy Monday. I am super excited to sleep in my bed and hopefully get good sleep tonight with a new air conditioning unit, because it has not been nice the last few weeks with no air. So have a great Monday and stay happy, stay healthy, and keep crafting. And I'll talk to you guys later. Love ya. Thanks for watching tonight. I hope you enjoyed my scrapbooking video. If so, please feel free to hit the subscribe button. I look forward to sharing new creations with you next week. To keep the crafting fun going, check out my prior scrapbooking videos. I appreciate your support. Stay happy, stay healthy, and keep crafting!